Welcome to ZoomInData, your go-to channel for in-depth data engineering, analytics, and modern cloud technology interview preparation. In this video, we dive deep into the top 25 migration and best practices for Microsoft Fabric interview questions for 2025, updated as of early 2026. Perfect for data architects, migration leads, administrators, and anyone preparing for Fabric adoption. Synapse, ADF, Power BI premium transitions, enterprise deployments, or modernization projects. We cover assessment, tools, strategies from Synapse, ADF, and Power BI, data consistency, phased, hybrid approaches, validation, security, governance, user adoption, post-migration optimization, and comprehensive best practices, all explained in clear, interview-ready technical language to help you confidently ace your next interview. 1. How do you migrate existing systems to Microsoft Fabric? Migration to Fabric follows a structured approach. Assess current estate, prioritize workloads, execute lift and shift or refactor, validate, and cut over in phases. Tools like Azure Synapse Pathway, ADF Migration Utilities, and Fabric Migration Assistant automate code, script conversion and inventory. OneLake shortcuts enable hybrid access to legacy sources during transition, minimizing downtime and dual maintenance. Post-migration optimization leverages direct lake, medallion architecture, and auto-scaling for improved performance and cost. 2. What tools support migration to Fabric? Azure Synapse Pathway assesses and converts Synapse SQL pools, Spark pools, and pipelines to Fabric Lakehouse, warehouse equivalents. Fabric Migration Assistant, Preview, inventories Power BI premium datasets and suggests direct lake or composite model paths. ADF to Fabric Migration Tool converts pipelines, datasets, and linked services to native Fabric pipelines and connections. dbt core and Git integration facilitate code-first artifact migration with validation. 3. How does Fabric support migration from Synapse? Synapse dedicated SQL pools migrate to Fabric Warehouse with TSQL compatibility and mirroring for seamless transition. Synapse Spark pools lift to Fabric Lakehouse with notebook compatibility and Delta table persistence in OneLake. Synapse pipelines convert via automated tools to Fabric data pipelines with minimal rework. OneLake shortcuts provide continued access to Synapse storage during phased cutover. 4. How does Fabric support migration from ADF? ADF pipelines, datasets, and linked services migrate using the official ADF to Fabric migration tool for near one-click conversion. Activities map directly, copy to fast copy, mapping data flows to Dataflow Gen 2, Spark to notebook activity. Integration runtimes transition to managed VNet or self-hosted options in Fabric. Triggers and parameters preserved with environment-specific overrides via variable library. 5. How does Fabric support migration from Power BI Premium? Premium datasets convert to Fabric semantic models with direct lake recommended for lake resident tables. Premium per user capacity licensing consolidates into unified Fabric capacity without additional cost. XMLA endpoint compatibility allows gradual migration of existing models and reports. Enhanced features like Copilot, larger models, and direct lake performance accelerate adoption. 6. How do you assess readiness for Fabric migration? Use Azure Synapse Pathway and Fabric Capacity Estimator to inventory workloads, dependencies, and sizing needs. Evaluate current licensing, storage, and compute usage for cost comparison with Fabric pay-for-use model. Assess data architecture for medallion pattern fit and identify quick wins, e.g., direct lake candidates. Conduct stakeholder workshops to map business requirements and adoption barriers. 7. How do you design a migration strategy for Fabric? Adopt phased approach. Pilot quick win workloads, then core analytics, followed by advanced real-time or AI scenarios. Choose lift and shift for speed or refactor for optimization, e.g., ADF pipelines to native, Synapse to Lakehouse. Leverage hybrid patterns with shortcuts, mirroring during transition to minimize disruption. Align strategy with business outcomes, cost reduction, performance, or unified platform goals. 8. How does Fabric minimize migration risks? Hybrid shortcuts and mirroring allow parallel operation of legacy and Fabric environments during validation. Automated conversion tools reduce manual errors in pipeline, notebook, and model migration. Deployment pipelines with staged environments and rollback support controlled cutover. Comprehensive lineage and monitoring ensure issues detected early post-migration. 9. How does Fabric support hybrid migration approaches? OneLake shortcuts virtualize access to legacy storage, ADLS Gen 2, Synapse, without immediate data movement. Mirroring replicates Synapse databases to Fabric Warehouse for side-by-side validation. Cross-workload queries join legacy and Fabric data during transition. Gradual decommissioning of old services after successful cutover. 10. How does Fabric handle data migration at scale? Fast copy and polybase loading enable high-throughput bulk transfers to OneLake. Incremental patterns via change data feed or pipeline parameters migrate deltas efficiently. Distributed Spark processing scales large volume transformations during lift. Shortcuts defer physical movement until ready, reducing initial migration scope. 11. How does Fabric manage migration validation and testing? Side-by-side execution compares legacy and Fabric outputs, e.g., report visuals, query results. DBT tests and notebook assertions validate data quality and logic post-migration. Deployment pipeline test stage runs automated validation before production promotion. Lineage comparison ensures transformation fidelity across environments. 12. How does Fabric ensure data consistency during migration? ACID transactions in Delta Lake guarantee atomic writes during incremental loads. Idempotent pipeline designs support safe reruns without duplicates. Schema enforcement and validation rules catch inconsistencies early. Time travel queries verify historical consistency against source. 13. How does Fabric manage downtime during migration? Hybrid shortcuts enable zero downtime access to legacy data while Fabric loads. Phased rollout migrates non-critical workloads first, minimizing broad impact. Read-only mirroring replicates data live with eventual consistency. Cutover windows scheduled during low usage periods for final sync. 14. How does Fabric support phased migration? Workload prioritization. Start with Power BI, Direct Lake, then Pipelines, then Advanced Spark, real-time. Workspace separation isolates migrated items from legacy during transition. Deployment pipelines stage content progressively with validation gates. Quick wins build momentum and funding for subsequent phases. 15. How does Fabric integrate migration with C/CD pipelines? Git-connected workspaces version migrated artifacts for controlled promotion. Deployment pipelines automate staged movement from dev to prod post-migration. Validation rules check compatibility and performance in test stage. Rollback to previous stage or Git commit ensures safe iteration. 16. How does Fabric support rollback during migration? Backward deployment in pipelines restores previous stage content instantly. Git revert recovers artifact definitions to pre-migration state. Shortcuts switch back to legacy sources without data loss. Workspace snapshots, if enabled, provide full rollback points. 17. How does Fabric optimize performance post-migration? Adopt direct lake and medallion architecture for low-latency analytics. Apply delta optimizations, V-order, clustering, auto-compaction, to migrated tables. Right-size capacity based on post-migration metrics and workload patterns. Incremental processing replaces full reloads for sustained efficiency. 18. How does Fabric ensure security during migration? Permissions and labels migrate with items or reapplied via policies. Service principals execute automated migration tasks with least privilege. Private endpoints and VNet integration secure data in transit. Audit logs track all migration actions for compliance review. 19. How does Fabric handle governance after migration? Purview auto-scans register migrated items in unified catalog with lineage. Endorsements, domains, and sensitivity labels enforce ongoing governance. Deployment pipelines maintain policy checks post-migration. Monitoring Hub and Purview Hub track adoption and compliance. 20. How does Fabric support user adoption after migration? Familiar interfaces, Power BI, notebooks, reduce learning curve from legacy tools. Training on direct lake performance and OneLake simplicity highlights benefits. Self-service capabilities with governed data empower users quickly. Change management includes pilot feedback loops and success stories. 21. How does Fabric measure migration success? KPIs include cost savings, performance gains, query times, and reduced maintenance. User adoption metrics, active users, self-service reports created. Reliability, reduced incidents versus legacy platform. Compliance, full purview coverage and audit readiness. 22. How does Fabric support long-term optimization? Continuous monitoring via capacity metrics identifies tuning opportunities. Regular delta maintenance, optimize, vacuum, sustains performance. Architecture reviews evolve from migrated state to full medallion, direct lake. Reserved capacities lock savings as usage stabilizes. 23. How does Fabric support enterprise-scale deployments? Multi-capacity and workspace hierarchies scale across departments. Domains and data products federate governance enterprise-wide. High concurrency autoscaling supports thousands of users. Centralized admin portal and purview for cross-tenant consistency. 24. How does Fabric handle multi-cloud migration scenarios? OneLake shortcuts integrate AWS S3, GCP, or on-premises data without full move. Cross-cloud lineage in Purview tracks hybrid flows. Migration tools support non-Azure sources via connectors. Gradual consolidation to Fabric while maintaining legacy access. 25. What are best practices for implementing Microsoft Fabric? Start with assessment and pilot. Prioritize quick wins like Power BI Direct Lake for momentum. Adopt medallion architecture early. Use shortcuts, mirroring for hybrid transition. Enable Git deployment pipelines from day one. Integrate purview scanning and labeling. Monitor costs, performance continuously. Train users on self-service with governance guardrails. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you prepare for your Microsoft Fabric interview, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your network. Don't forget to subscribe to ZoomInData and hit the bell icon for more in-depth data engineering, analytics, and cloud technology interview prep videos every week. Drop your questions or topic requests in the comments. Let's zoom in on your success together.